Hello, thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I am Hoyt here with Jurnee Taylor.
Yeah, and this is meteorologist Nathan Scott. Right there. As we feel the thermostat turned up just a notch on this Tuesday, Nathan, what can we expect as we inch closer and closer through the week, but also closer and closer to hotter temperatures?
Jurnee and Rolly, it's hot out there, but it's not too humid. I just stepped outside. It doesn't feel too bad in the shade. Now, in the sun, you'll start to sweat a little bit. And that's because the numbers are into the 90s. We're at 97 in Conway, 94 here in the capital city, 97 in Arkadelphia, and 93 in Searcy. We've seen a mixture of sun and clouds out there this afternoon. There's only a very small chance of isolated shower primarily into Miller County. Dew points, they're into the 60s for the most part. That's why it doesn't feel too bad. So your heat index values primarily into the mid to upper 90s. There's a 100 showing up in Fort Smith. This evening is going to be delightful for August. We'll go from the low 90s dropping down to the 80s shortly after sunset, and we'll settle down and begin your Wednesday morning with numbers into the 60s in Northeast Arkansas. We'll go for a low of 71 here in the metro. Now tomorrow, it's going to be hotter. We'll see temperatures top out into the mid to upper 90s across the board. Probably 100 in Fort Smith, close to 100 in Texarkana. And with the humidity, although it still will be kept in check, dew points into the 60s, we'll see those heat index values climb above 100 during the peak heating of the day. The heat index values will continue to slowly but surely climb up through the rest of the work week as we'll see more humidity. I'll have more on that, and also our next chance we could see maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms coming up.
All right, thank you, Nathan. On a THV 11 update, 3 people are under arrest in connection with the death of a 2-year-old girl killed in a dog attack earlier this year outside of North Little Rock.
Pulaski County deputies arrested 21-year-old Michaela Jackson, 55-year-old Ernest Jackson, and 41-year-old Christina Hart, all 3 charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. These charges follow the March 28th attack on Norman Road that claimed the life of 2-year-old Celeste Jackson. The release from the sheriff did not specify if the people under arrest are related to the victim. None of them have been to court yet. The suspected dog is in custody as well in the attack and is being held by animal control. Well, it's been more than 2 years since a gunman opened fire at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce, and now there's a permanent memorial honoring the lives lost.
That tragic day claimed the lives of 4 people and left 10 others injured, including 2 police officers. Travis Posey pleaded guilty on this day last year to the massacre in the parking lot and store back in June of 2024.
That guilty plea allowed him to avoid the death penalty after facing 4 counts of capital murder, 11 counts of attempted capital murder. Posey's now serving 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole at the Varner Supermax. And since that fateful June day, the small town in Dallas County has focused its energy on healing and recovery.
THV 11's Carter Threet shares how Fordyce is remembering the victims and how some of their families are reacting to a new memorial.
Those in the mood for a history lesson might make a trip to the Dallas County Museum in Fordyce.
A vast amount of history that's here in this building.
But amid all the fun, a sobering reminder.
They leave a marker and people can sign them, to show their concern and love.
After the 2024 mass shooting at the Mad Butcher grocery store, so many people signed that they ran out of room on the hearts. The crosses now sit inside the museum, replaced by something more permanent.
Of course, there'll never be complete closure.
Helen Browning's daughter, Callie Weems, was killed that day in 2024. She was a 23-year-old nurse who left behind a daughter. That baby girl was there for the memorial's unveiling. She just turned 3 years old.
The head corporation of Mad Butcher, I thank them for doing the monument.
For Richard Ledbetter, a museum board member who says everyone knows everyone in Fordyce, the symbolism stands out.
It's a big heart, and it's got the names of the 4 victims that perished, but there's nothing on the heart. And it's kind of, to me, it's like it's an empty heart. We're missing those 4. And we'll always remember them.
Helen says she's grateful for this memorial and the fact that it uses the name that everyone called her daughter, Callie Jane. She hopes that, as the memorial says, they will always be remembered.
And our loved ones mean just as much to us in death as they did in life. And we want everyone to remember them.
In Fordyce, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Well, another set of students returned to the classroom today.
Yeah, down in Hot Springs, that first day brought new routines, new expectations, and a new facility for secondary students and staff. And the district superintendent, Mike Hernandez, knows that first day of school can be a big adjustment for students and parents.
He explained that the district's goal is to make that transition as smooth as possible by helping families know what to expect from day one.
Hot Springs kindergartners, in fact, even had the option to start a few days early, giving some of the district's youngest learners extra time to get comfortable in those new classrooms.
Just getting them here safe, getting them in the classroom, getting them accustomed to the procedures and stuff like that throughout the day. That's probably the best thing that we hope to accomplish this first day of school.
Now, the district is also starting the year with a new practice facility for its junior academy and high school students.
And that includes the field damaged last week by a freak dust devil. Repairs are set to get underway soon there. But the entire main campus features a new parking lot and covered walkway connecting the two buildings here in the second year of the new high school.
Now, even if you don't have kids, I get it, headed back to class, you'll notice the difference on the roadways. School zones become more active, buses are back out there, and your morning commute, it could take a little bit longer now. If you're wondering when that starts where you live, we put together a complete list of school start dates on our website, that's thv11.com. While the national investigation into the Cyclospora outbreak continues, health officials here report more than 150 cases on Monday.
Yeah, and with the source of the tainted food still in question, school districts are taking precautions as all those kids return to the cafeteria. Tonight, THV11's Maya Ellison takes a closer look at those precautions.
Cyclosporiasis, an illness caused by the parasite Cyclospora, is spreading across the country. Here in Arkansas, the Department of Health now reports 173 cases, up from 123 last week. And with students returning to the classroom, some school districts are taking extra steps to keep cafeteria food safe.
We have been working all summer to ensure that our vendors have taken the precautionary steps to ensure that none of the products that we procure will have been affected by the virus.
Stephanie Walker-Hines, nutrition director for the Little Rock School District, says their work starts long before a meal ever reaches a student's tray.
Currently, all of our employees are going through our food safety training, which is required by USDA, of course. And for example, our lettuce, it's already been triple washed, and then of course we washed it again. And we use organic things like baking soda and water to wash for a fourth time.
She says produce is delivered fresh each week.
We get our fresh produce on Mondays. It's put into the walk-in, it's labeled, it's dated, and it's put into the walk-in.
Walker-Hines also recently visited Taylor Farms, a supplier used by one of the district's vendors, to see those food safety practices firsthand.
We are very assured that when that outbreak started, I think early July, middle of July, we didn't even have any of those products in our inventory to begin with.
But while health officials continue to trace the source of the outbreak, Walker-Hines says the district remains confident the food served to students is safe.
I needed to make certain that what we serve is the best and that it is safe, and that, of course, for our customers, the district students, my customers, we would only want the best for them.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
The restoration is underway at Camp Aldersgate.
Yeah, the camp's 79-year-old carousel is about to be transformed so it can continue to bring joy to the campers with all abilities. The C. Lewis and Mary C. Cabe Foundation in Gurdon gifted the camp $150,000 to restore the carousel, merry-go-round basically, after learning it couldn't operate this summer because of some broken parts. And now crews are in the beginning stages of the revamp, so kids and young adults with intellectual and physical disabilities can continue to make memories.
We are a place of love and acceptance. We have been since 1947, and so we're a nonprofit, and we rely on our community to support us, and we're very grateful.
And if you'd like to contribute to the restoration of the carousel, you can make a donation on the camp's website.
Of course, they plan to have it back up and running by next summer. Today, voters head to the polls for primaries in a handful of states.
We'll see why one race is drawing national attention. That's coming up.
The newest county to be added to the list of burn bans is you folks in Dallas County. Also, the city of Hot Springs is under a burn ban, and that means no burning whatsoever. More burn bans are anticipated as we go into the next 7 days. As for the chance of rain, I'm looking for any significant rainfall. I'll let you know if I can find some in my full 7-day forecast coming up.